Evening all. So you can't be setting up there. Wow, there's a few in already. Fingers crossed you can all hear me. Let's go through. Who's here? Nick, John, Barnes, Dex, John, Carl, James, Sean, Charles, Jonas. Hello everyone. It's good to hear you all. I'm not reading them all out because there's a lot there, but yeah, Dex, nice one, Dex. Hit that like button before you even start. There's only 6 of you on the like button. 14 watching. That's not good, is it? How is everyone tonight? Tell me what you're painting, first of all. What you're up to. Grey and cloudy in San Diego, apparently. I don't know what everyone else's weather's like. It's a bit cold here. It's been a nice day, but cold. Got a few things I want to do tonight. I've already been calling there. Happy Tuesday, Patriot Wargame Solutions. I've already been joined by Tiny. She's jumped behind the paints over there, so I'm sure she'll make an appearance at some point in your in the stream just now. She's looking at me right now, like a little freak. Evening Boots, deja vu indeed. Tuesday night, stream night, innit? So how's everybody out there anyway? All right? 4 regiments, 50mm CGM French Cuirassier. Nice, excellent. Hordes of T-55s on the table this evening, along with some Churchills. Tank wash evening, good stuff. More Epic Union. No weird shit on the table tonight. Printing out handouts. Painting my last batch of 15mm Scythian Horse Archers. And Jonas is painting Italian armour. Wow, what a mix. Here she comes, pushing her way through everything. Just keep an eye on her. Evening, Steve. What we've got? Redesigning Sarissa Alamo for Outrima. I don't know what's out. Well, I think, is it the Baron's War or something? Outrima? Can't remember. Evening all. Actually free on a Tuesday for once. Here for the tiny action. Well, you're just about to get some, or you will have got some when the thing catches up. Finishing boarding duty, and then there's some French dragoons waiting for you. And there you go. She's already on me. So tonight, I'm going to prep this. It's one of the Old West shops that I got from Sarissa. I'm just going to do this one nice and basic, nice and easy. Prepping crossbow figures. You're finishing boarding duty. Oh yeah, then some French naps are waiting for you. So I'm going to do this one. I've got 2 others. They're a bit bigger. I'm actually going to film one of these when I make it. Possibly the big one here. I'm not sure yet. Just to show you how I go about tarting these things up. Yeah, Baron's War, there you go. And I've got this one as well, which is the Hotel, the Old West 15mm Hotel. So I've got 3 of these. Take no time at all to do. And I want to get these KI-21 Sallies onto their parts, onto their stands. So I've got a couple of things I want to do tonight. I've also got 7 cowboys sitting there, but I've ordered a load of cowboys from Peter Pig, including some of the casualties as well. So I'm waiting for them to come through. So I'm going to see what they're like compared to the Blue Moon stuff. But I'll still paint the Blue Moon ones. So I may as well, because I've got them. But that's it. Cowboys and Orcs tonight for you, lazy painter. So first of all, let's have a look at this thing. This is the easiest one of the set. I think it's only 1 sheet. You did actually get an Old West train with this set, but I didn't read the instructions properly, and I put it on backwards, and then stupidly, because I used super glue, I couldn't actually undo the thing, so I've had to throw it away, unfortunately. Did I eat dinner? Yes, I did eat dinner. I had what are they called? Beef quesadillas. That's what I had tonight. And very nice they were too. I've got some for tomorrow as well, so I'm happy. Did you eat dinner? That's the big question. What I also need as well is going to need some plastic card, because I want to do a nice little garden for this one. I'm going to do this like I do in my 20th century stuff. Do a little garden on it. I just need to find. Should have prepared for this, obviously. So I'll keep talking while I'm searching. But I should have some fences. There we go. Perfect. Exactly that. How about converting cowboy orcs? Also buying shares in plastic cacti. Good stuff. So I've got some of the old printed walls and gardens and stuff there from Sabotage. What I want to do is, as I say, I'm going to just build a little garden for it, a little plot of land at the back. That's the idea. I want to turn it into something quite nice, really. Grant, evening, 2:30, Michigan. Not yet. Wifey will feed you. Nice to have met up with you. Salute. Yes, you too, Grant. Really nice to meet you. So you just finished some primer on 50+ mil desert ogres after redoing my room. Got a skirmish fight set on my second table, 4x2. You're going to use your Boer War figures for What a Cowboy. Sounds like a good idea. And then lots of emojis. And more emojis. So these Sarissa pieces are very nice. I mean, they're pretty simple, but they do come out quite nice. So I'm just going to get them prepped and get this one put together. I don't think I'll get it painted tonight because I need to undercoat it and everything, and I'm going to need to put sand on and all kinds of stuff. But I'm going to go. I kind of learnt a bit on the first one. They're just a little bit basic. You just kind of need. I mean, you could quite easily just use them as they are, but I wanted to start them up a little bit. Knuckle Dust to do some more cowboys. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if anybody doesn't do that. But yeah, the first one went together really nicely, and they do look pretty good when they're done. So that's I'm aiming for that again. Just a simple job on them. I did think I'd not be able to do much with them because I thought they were too basic. So I did actually ask Paul if he could do me some 3D printed buildings, but he hasn't got any in his stocks at the moment. So I would have to buy some. So I thought, well, I'll just go around and go. I'll give it a go with what I've got and see where we are. And it turns out they actually turn out all right. Cowboys, Orcs and Native Elves. Sounds like alternative elves was written all over it. I'm going to start banning people for weird shit talk in the chat. No, I wouldn't really. Come one, come all. It's a broad church. Napoleonic French Undead Army versus Gondor. Yes, who obviously all off on a tootle. I was reading What a Cowboy earlier on. I've still not actually managed to get through it because I was on a PCP. Thank you very much, Don, for inviting me on last night. So, and I was absolutely banjacked. So I just didn't. I had a busy day at work. I'm still recovering from Salute, to be honest. First time Salute and really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's only by my third. You've got a nice set of Western STL. Never printed them though. Well, get them printed, James. Party Rex, that's heading to Flintlock territory. Absolutely, damn right, Alex. And yeah, last night I was actually really tired, but just because I've been running on empty for the last few days because I was away last week from Wednesday through to Friday, then down to Salute and back, and then Sunday I was kind of trying to recover, so I've just not really had a chance to actually. Sunday I was actually editing the Salute video, which I hope you've all seen anyway. Still waiting for What a Root Vegetable. I'm fairly sure somebody will probably do it at some point. Easily done. And I thought what I'll do is, if I do What a Cowboy in 15mm, it's not a massive outlay. And if I like it, I could even push it up to 28mm, which I don't know though, because that involves a hell of a lot of making new stuff and buying new stuff, and I'm never that bothered. It's snow in Michigan. Blimey. It's a bit late for snow, I would have thought, but who knows? Maybe it's still the depth of winter in Michigan. So what I discovered last time with these is, because they're just flat pieces basically, what you really need to do is score the lines a little bit, just to make them look slightly better, and also just take a little bit of dry brushing as well. And what I forgot to do on the other one is I built them first and then scored the lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to score these lines beforehand, so then they're a bit deeper and a bit more knackered than the actual laser cut itself. Why they didn't make the laser cut ever so slightly. 28mm always happens to real legs. Well, I do 28mm Judge Dredd, as you found out last night, Dom. We do violent thunderstorms later. Yet more bloody rain after the 25-inch we got in Fort Lauderdale a couple of weeks back. Blimey. I hope it all goes all right. I do like a thunderstorm, but I don't like a violent one. I don't think. So yeah, it's just this is just a case of scratching them up a bit, really, just making them look a little bit less laser cut and manufactured. And as I say, then it gives you a little bit to actually dry brush off. Because these are really simple to paint. It's literally just dry brushing, just layers of dry brushing. But because I'm going to have to wait for quite a few bits of it to actually dry, I'm not going to get to dry brush it tonight. Black Sheep do some really nice cowboys. Yeah, I know he's sent me some to review. Obviously you don't watch my channel enough, James. I did a review video of them a while back. That's why we watch you, Alex. We watch you to make the mistakes we don't have to. Yep. That's why I do this first and then I film it. So I make a mistake first and then I realise what the mistakes are, and then I can change it. So this is a nice little shop by the looks of things, and it's got a nice board on top of it as well. And I've got some of the Sarissa signs and stuff, so I'm going to use those. Hey, thank you very much, really appreciated that. Just reminded me, you got a windmill in Blockhouse, need to build for my 15mm cowboys. Don't know how many figures, need some more. They're 28, so I assumed your review with these too big at the end. As I say, James, I've got plenty of 28mm figures, because the majority of the forces are 15. Thank you very much, Patriot, that is really appreciated. That's very nice of you. You shared salute video in your local O2 chat. People said that it hurt their wallets to see the tables. Well, thanks for sharing it. You know, honestly, yes, there were some fantastic tables on show. Really good, nice little shop. Is it open all hours? Can you cowboy Ronnie Barker with 15mm? I'm thinking more of the four candles scene from the two Ronnies. Fork handles? Fork handles. Feed the cat, thank you. I will. I did actually buy some cat food today, first time in a while, so they'll stop starving, and they might stop mithering me as well. I'll just put these last ones here together. So yeah, it doesn't really matter about this. You can just be, like I say, you can be pretty rough about it, because they're just planks. Evening, Terry. Good to have you on board. When's the Water Banker expansion due out? Easter, most likely. Four candles. I think you found a name for the shop. If there was a sign, or I could write in cowboy writing, then yeah, that's what I'd call it. I'm not very good at design, so I'm going to steal somebody else's. Graville fetch the Winchester. Oh my god, this is going back so. Oh, classic TV. Those of a certain age in the audience, just like being at Salute. Last little bit there. All done. Right, so now they're all scored. As I say, they're just going to look a little bit better when it actually comes to building the thing. And I'm going to do what Nick does and use super glue rather than wood glue for these. I think that's the idea. Although I don't know how this goes. Ah, there we go. No, That seems to be the opposite way around. That seems to be backwards. No, I'm not missing something, am I? I hope not. I think they've done the thing the wrong way around. Evening, Louis, baby. Good to have you on board. Yeah, it looks like maybe this has been done the wrong way. I think the back door. By the looks of it. Yeah, that's not great. So it's going to be a flat out door. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to score the other side, aren't I? Just to get some planking in on it. It'll be alright. It's going to get painted. Don't worry. Yeah, that seems like a bit of an oversight on their part. Wonder if anybody else has come across that with these. So we've got 23 in, 20 likes. Hit that like button, folks. You know you want to. You know you love it. Earlier on as well, I also finished off a couple more Japanese planes. Last time you remember, I was talking about getting the decals, the British decals. I went to Flight Deck, and their postage was only $4. So I thought, well, that's nothing, is it? That I may as well. I'm happy to pay for that. So I'm still waiting for those to come through. So that's why I haven't started on the British and the Commonwealth aircraft yet, but they will get done. Super glue all the way for MDF. But for God's sake, check it first. Yeah, I almost super glued that on the wrong way around. But I forgot that the flight deck decals are ones that you actually have to cut out yourself. It's not like the I-94 stuff where they're actually they're already. You just have to get the water on them, and they just come off as individuals. So that's going to be fun, cutting off a load of 1/600 scale decals. Looking forward to that. Not. Shouldn't buy anything else right now. There's 2 pre-order games just hit your card. Good. What games were they, Charles? Yeah, the only thing I bought this week, as I say, has been the Peter Pig Cowboys. Just bought a couple of packs of Gunslingers and some Dead. Can't remember what else I got. Just cheap editions, only 20 quid's worth. That's a good thing about 15 mil. Never cost you that much. I'm on a bit of a Japanese kick at the moment. Been on a bit of a Japanese kick for a while, to be honest. What are you saying? You use proper wood glue, goes off in about 5 minutes. After 1 minute it's bonded enough to leave. Yeah, I use proper wood glue as well, James, but this is even quicker. Yeah, I've been. I've just because I decided I want to go back to Malaya for Bag the Hun. I've been thinking about it for a while. I've got some 1/300th. I actually just sold them on eBay. Yeah, yesterday. They went to the post today, but I wanted more Bag the Hun stuff, and I was thinking about doing it in 3D printed. And the First World War ones I got from John were really good. Sorry, not John, Jim. But I didn't want to mither him for to get more, because he did me as a favour. But he'd just produce a load of stuff from Malaya because we were taunting him in the Lardy Discord. So he'd done loads of aircraft from Malaya, and then he gave it all over to Paul. Well, actually, I asked him. I said, "Do you mind if I get Paul at Sabotage to print it?" And apparently, he'd already just that day given it over anyway. So Paul printed me a shitload of them out. Try using super glue on one side and white PVA on the other. Rolls in rock hard join. These aren't going to get too knocked about, Terry, so I'm quite happy with them just being super glued at the moment. They're quite solid little beasts, as it is. So I just decided I wanted to go back to Malaya and and Paul did me about 130 odd aircraft, which you can't beat. Now let's just hope these are scored in the right way. What's table size for what cowboy? 4x4, 3x3, small, big, however you want it to be. Interceptor, Ace 2 compass, and the British Way GMT 4 coin gains. Okay. Attempts to go 10mm for easy storage and transportation. Yeah. 10mm might be a little small because it's individuals. I think 15mm you might be pushing it. Yeah, you could get away with it quite easily. But yeah, you can do it. He says if you're doing it smaller than 28mm, then you can use. Oh, that's annoying. You can use. What's the word? Use centimeters instead of inches. Annoyingly, the interior part of this is also printed backwards as well. So I'm going to have to cut this and re-stick it in a different way. Yeah, like I said, What a Cowboy, I've yet to play it because I just haven't had a chance to sit down and read it. I was having a bit of a read earlier on just after work. But good to see you at Salute. Yes, you too, Dave. Sorry I couldn't stop and talk longer. I guess your game was very busy all day. Good to see both you and Chris. I can never tell if you're using Chris's sign in or if it's Chris posing as Dave. Who knows? But yeah, good to see you both anyway. Sorry, didn't get much of a chance to chat for too long. What's ground scale? There isn't one really, Dex. It's 1:1 scale, so it's like 28mm ground scale. You know, it's. I also find when parts don't fit properly, it's manufacturing which is at fault. It is in this case. The thing is backwards. It's printed backwards. Thankfully, I've built enough models in my time. Yeah, it's slightly annoying because it means that the nice details on it aren't very apparent. But anyway, see, fixed it. No problem. No messing. Right, so that's that back bit. Let's just get these done here on the front. Roofs. Oh, what time is it? It's not taking very long at all, this. He says, trying to get that piece on, but decides not to work. Yeah, I was saying earlier, wasn't I, that there was a train set in this, but I glued the wrong thing together, so it got knackered. So unfortunately, I've had to throw it away. But I'm never that fussed about MDF vehicles anyway. I don't think they're the greatest. Oh, come on. You're all watching me mess up. So look, I was looking at Peter Pig's 50mm for the Nevermind bill hooks, but discovered that Perry 28 plastic is only 2p a figure more expensive. I have a dilemma. Frustrating indeed. Peter Pig are quite pricey now. All metal seems to be these days. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's gone up in price. It doesn't seem to have come down in price, annoyingly. That's the way of the world. Oops. There we go, that's broken the balcony. So this is a demonstration in how not to do this. You sold when you saw that one on the conflicts was on Malaya. He was going to do what's in the box videos, but this one I'll try to get a table. Cool. Perry's all the way. Right, let's just... Yeah, I bet, never mind the bill hooks would work quite well in 15mm. That'd be a nice nice scale for it, I would have thought. Right, where's my tweezers? This is the problem doing this with an audience. You make a mess of it, they're on you. There you go. One semi-built building. Well, it's meant to look a mess anyway. You went for those one I built earlier. No, I didn't. It's already done. Trying to put the foot on it. You're making me feel so much better about model making. Yeah, this is the stuff you don't see. Might have to be 50mm fan like Alex, but that's changed habits for this. The problem is, I find, is changing scales is you're got to get a load more scenery. I'm generally more interested in the scenery on a table than the figures, to be honest. There we go. Ha! In your face, Dom. See? Looks perfectly fine now. You're fetching your teaching hammer. Right, that's the most part of that done. I'll just chuck this in here. Get that out of the way. Now, as I say, the problem is with it, it looks fine, but it's just a little bit basic, I found. So what I've done is this on the other one. I've got these bits here. So these are coffee stirrers. I actually bought these, and I know you can pick them up from McDonald's, but these ones I bought because they're thin and very useful for what I need. Well, I bought them for something else and I can't remember what it was, but they've kind of sat in a bag, but they are very useful. So I'm just going to add some rods and bits and pieces. But first of all, I want to cut these in half. That's what I need to do because they're too big as they are. So this bit's simple, and it doesn't matter if these get knackered either, because again they're cut by hand, not by machine. So if they're not perfect, it don't matter. Right. Quite a little bugger. It did have to have a bloody knot in it, didn't it? There we go, that's a better one. I'll cut a few of these up first of all. What's the over under on how many what cowboy games will be at CrackCon? I'm not sure, to be honest. It doesn't seem to have been. There's a couple of games. A couple of people have been playing it in the Plastic Crack Podcast Facebook page. Yeah, there might be a few. It's a nice, easy one to carry about, if nothing else. Since you're only on a couple of figures each, but yeah, I'm making a mess of this. This was working perfectly the other night when nobody was watching. It's all useful. I'll be able to use them all. He says just butchering another one. Right. There we go, that's what we need. 15. Yeah, you do need variety at these kind of events. People are going to play lots of different games, aren't they? That's the idea. It's a chance to try out different games. So you don't really want too many. There you go, that's more like it. Let's get those out of the way for a second. We'll do one more. As few as that. There's 31 people watching this, and that chat is quite quiet for 31 people out there. Say hello if you're out. Let me know who's watching. Who's out in Steeler Land. Well, I say chat is quiet. It's not that quiet, is it? Right. Okay. There's a few planks. So I want some up the side of the building first of all. So number one thing to do, mark them up. I don't mind if it's just slightly over because I can snip it off, as the actress said to the bishop. There we are. They're all in shock at my construction skills. Yeah, absolutely. In awe, I think is the word. No. Just remembered, you want to build some more narrow river tiles. Found Home Depot had a package of small paint stirrers, usually for rivers. Are you mainly putting the boards on to cover the joints? Yes and no, Carl. They do cover the joints, which is good. That's kind of a bit of a secondary thing. It's because the sides of the buildings are quite flat, and with my extensive research into Red Dead Redemption 2, if you look at the buildings, they've got supporting planks on the corners. So just to make them look a little bit more interesting, even if they want to be painter, just to make them look a little bit more interesting, I want to put these on, just to give them a little bit of depth than the quite flat way that they actually are. But yeah, it does work as a joint coverer as much as anything else. And as you've seen my skills so far, you don't normally enjoy terrain, but enjoying doing some Wild West stuff. I loved making terrain, me. I think it's great. It's one of the pleasures of the hobby, I think. Because you can go a bit mad with it. You kind of do what you want with it. And that's what I think's good about it. You can really make it your own, especially these MDF buildings. They're very versatile to be messed about with. That's what I think, anyway. I want to put another one across the top for the sign. So this will be. Yeah. He says he sticks his fingers to himself. So this is going to have a sign in it. Oh, there goes those clippers. There we go. All done. You've always wondered why Wild West has such a high front. Anyone know there's a practical reason? I think it's just signage, really, style. and just a way of showing off what the shop was all about. I don't think it's anything more complicated than that, to be honest. I might not even get to those aeroplanes tonight. We'll see. I'm sure Louis Baby will tell me what time I'm allowed to go to bed. When originally built, a lot of them were just tents behind the facade. There you go. Kit bashing and terrain, making it fun. Painting rank and file troops sucks. And as such, they are sent to Asia as economic aid and painted by professionals. Putting on some panel liner on a riveted Italian tank. So I'm quiet in the chat, I can guarantee that I'm more verbal regarding the Italian choices in tank design. Bit of swearing going on up in Sweden there then, Jonas. Right, let's... Yeah, when I finish the chat tonight, I'll give this its basic spray. I've still got to build all the garden and stuff first of all, but that won't take long. Not before 9 PM. I'll be in bed, I think. Not finding it riveting, lol. Just paint 150 Prussian heads, so I'll be quiet in chat. Turn that off because I put it on wrong, because I was looking at chat. Did you find more plums? Did you? Usually a wood. Well, I think we'll have to be able to when you get this one built. Hey, I'm almost done. How dare you? So yeah, you got these. There's ridges on the actual print on the roof, but they're not really ridges. They're just marked in. So I'm just emphasising them with these sticks. It's just where the roof tar has been nailed down, because you ordered a box of Russians from Extra. Very slow conversion. Terrain in the ACW, that means mainly trees, huge forested areas and 6mm. I'm not sure which way is best. Yeah. For my 6mm for Blucher, because of the scale of the game, I did have all the trees as clumps of forest with clump foliage. So they're kind of like the 2mm scale, but it means I can also use them as other patches of grass and things, or high grass and stuff in other games. They work. Little Wars as a tutorial on it, eh? Their latest video, Operation Compass, was very good. Really enjoyed that. Me and Dean have been talking about doing Operation Compass for years. Me, Dean and Mark actually. We were going to play it in Rapid Fire, but we don't really play Rapid Fire anymore. Dean was talking about doing it as a bit of a nostalgia trip, because he's got all the forces. So you never know. I might be able to talk him into doing it on the channel as well. That'll be fun. Evening, Tim. You're listening as you drive home. Well, so far it's a lot of me swearing at this MDF kit that won't fit together, or has been printed the wrong way around, or upside down. But we're getting there, despite the barracking from the audience. There we go. I use these smaller bits for other bits. You won't promise you won't demonetize the channel by revealing what is said here about Rizadama. It's your first choice. Open to alternatives, eh? Here we go. Nearly there. Nearly there. Well, for the roof anyway. I've still got to do the garden. So I ain't going anywhere for a bit. Snip that off. See, so I want to put just a couple more struts on this back corner as well. Again, once again, just to cover up the edges of the MDF, but also just to give it a little bit of interest. It's turned into a little shop for us. Yes, I think so. Looking forward to our game on Thursday, Dex. I'm very surprised that you gave ground in scenario 5. It's quite a difficult one, that, for the Germans. It's an easy place to defend. But having killed pretty much all of your platoon, I can understand why you would. I'm surprised you haven't been replaced as a commander yet and shot behind the chemical sheds. Meanwhile, I've been given lots and lots of iron crosses. You're learning your lesson about MDF kits. I'm glad one of us is looking forward to giving a little less to defend with. We can skip it if you want, I don't mind. Did somebody build a Perry Miniatures GI box? Assemble mine the other day and there some really annoying mould lines and all sprues. Yeah, more curse is coming up. You are pretty badly damaged at this point, Dex. I mean, I'd be happy to start negotiating the surrender. 3D and cast resin are much better. Yeah, I don't like resin so much. Depends who it comes from, I guess. But I find that the buildings are slightly bowed, just because of the actual casting process. If the moulds aren't great. Joking, it'll be another interesting lesson. Yeah, exactly. Some of the Perry's kits have mould lines and others. Joking, it'll be another interesting lesson. If you're going to make a real wild test, you're going to need a bordello. Well, maybe this might be the bordello, Dave. Who knows? The smallest whorehouse in Texas or whatever that. Is there a film called that? But yeah, you and I, Dex, really should just sit down and play some patrol phase games one night. Maybe after this campaign is over. We just sit down and go over the patrol phase. Where's the bank? Got a bank, but that's coming. Got 2 more buildings. But that one's going to have to be a brick built one. So I might have to scratch build that. That would be easy enough done. We'll see. Come on. Stop messing me around. But I like them, to go back to what you were saying, Tim, I like the MDF kits simply because you can do quite a lot with them. It's quite nice. And I hope you're not texting whilst driving either. I don't want to be responsible for any danger on the road. It looks an odd start. Yeah, you're in the back corner, aren't you? Whereas I'm on the top end of the thing. I remember it from playing solo. Unfortunately, because we don't have an umpire, I know what the victory conditions are. And don't forget Lipent's main term by toll booth. Okay, I don't get the joke. I'm sure it means something to someone though. Those done. I just need to put some ridges on the front across this front bit, and then that's the main build actually done. Nice and easy. Get these on. Apart from obviously just clipping some of these bits off. There you go. Hold in place. Oh, Blazing Saddle, yeah, I've not watched it for a hell of a long time. Yes. Great film. Classic of its genre. Yeah, I don't think I've watched it in years. Where's the other ones? Well, that bit of wood flew off. So let's use another one here. No, that one, that's crap. This one's half cut, so that'll do. What time is it? 1:15. It was on iPlayer. A Blazing Saddle scenario. Yeah, that would be a good idea. As soon as I said it, the idea came up. Let me chop these off first of all. Had a little fun gaming truce in Dean Taker 47 last week. One for you to try at a future date, maybe. Fun with a suitable element of friction and general uncertainty. Yeah, I have played it before with you, Dex, remember? I think when you... I don't know if it was the first time you brought it down to the club, but we played it. Terry and Kev. I enjoyed it. You gave me a copy of the rules, remember? I'm assuming not. I saw the pictures. The pictures look good. I assume Dean enjoyed it. It's good to see him striking out on his own. The lad's growing up. Nearly done. Two more to do. As long as I don't throw them on the floor. Age is a terrible thing indeed. What Mr. Johnson said about Mr. Johnson's idea is right. What's next? Tropical Thunderbolt action. Yeah. There is a Chain of Command Vietnam version called DMZ, should I say. I've got a copy of it because it kicks about for free on the internet. I've not tried it though. I've often thought about having a go at Charlie Don't Surf. I've got a copy of it. I did think about doing a Vietnamese project, but just never got around to it because we've already got all the jungle terrain. You don't really need a great deal more. Look for the book Draw the Greatest Gunfighters in the American West by James Reasoner. Second hand for a couple of quid. Okay. Cheers, Andy. I'll have a look. Right, that's that done with. So there you go, less than an hour. Yes, it is less than an hour. And already that looks just a lot better than it did originally. Or at least I think it does anyway, in my opinion. IOM. What I will do is let's just get this crap tidied up, and then I'll work on a garden. As I say, I think I'll just get the garden done for tonight, and then it's ready. I don't think I'll do these Japanese planes yet. I might do them later on tomorrow or something like that. There's only so much I can do in an evening. Right, so you basically, I only want the garden to be quite small. I don't need it massive. Maybe like 2 inches beyond the building. So if I mark up there and the building like this. Cheers, John. Then measure this off. 13 centimetres. So where are we at there? 13. Just make sure these are right. 6.5. 6.5, not perfect, but close. That and that, and then on there. I always like putting buildings on bases. I'll put everything on bases. Why not? The only way to improve anything is by putting it on a base. Garden just big enough for the outside done here. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have any I did have some outhouses from Paul Sabotage. I based them individually so I can just stick one in the garden. But yes, it would have been fun to have a little outhouse on the back of it. But like I say, I've got some anyway, and they're individually based. Right, let's make this edge this on. Absolutely, as Don says, base, base, base. So all I'm doing at the moment here is I'm just taking off those corners just to round it off a little bit, just so it's not as obvious on the tabletop. Trying to make it a little bit more organic looking on the edges rather than having sharp corners. Yeah, Peter Pigmaker, I know that. Evening, Leslie. I know they do, but I like the 3D printed ones. So just I was looking at the Peter Pig ones when I was buying the figures, and I also had one from Patrick Miniatures as well when I got his Russian farm set. Right, there you go. That's that. And good there, just smoothed off. So what we do now, I get that in position, and then I've got a wee garden for it as well. I could have a character of Stinky Pete from Toy Story. Indeed. I think they're all going to be pretty stinky, to be honest, if they're cowboys. There we go. And you are relatively central. That'll do. That will do. Make sure that sticks in place. They're loose so you can put a figure in. If you could bloody get one in that small. I'm sure you'd be able to get a 3D printed one with a loose door if you wanted it. Right. That's done. So now down to the last of these. I was actually going to use these for allotments for other things, so I'm glad I didn't. I was going to build a little allotments and just try and use them up, and then I got into this. Based or unbased? Based, everything based. Base everything. Oof. I'm thinking about a time in Red Dead Redemption when I was running about in the back gardens of Valentine, being shot at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a little gap here. I want to go 1, 2, 4. Sorry, just calculating how many fence posters I need to leave in. Beans, campfire scene from Blazing Saddle. Yeah, it's a classic. It's a classic. Yeah, the first one of these I built was pretty much an experiment to see how they go together and what would be needed, and that doesn't have a garden. But I've got loads of little plots of land that I've done for Second World War stuff, so they don't all need a garden. I just thought I'd try it out. How historically accurate is What a Cowboy? Yes, it's another Hollywood Western game there, James. It's emphasis on fun, James. Right. So there we've got a little gap for the entrance. And like I say, what I'll do is I'll add some plants and stuff as well, like a little plot of planters and things on there. So that's a basic garden done. Yeah, is any cowboy game any truly historical? Not really. Evening, Andy. Not really. Yeah, it's it borrows very heavily from the classic 1970s cowboy shows and movies. It's post-medieval. Even finding good historical cowboy films is a challenge, although gunfights make for good cinematic scenes. Good climatic scenes. Yes, that's why there's so many of them. Very much so. Right. That's that little fella put together. Now it's time to sand that base, and then I'll let that dry, and then I will give that a spray as well. And then that will dry overnight. What I might do is stick around for a little while longer and to get those sallies done as well. Get them ready. Spaghetti westerns are great, but quite rate the gunfighting Costner's open range. Not seen that. Wasn't sure that Bin Laden was expecting 8 rounds and moving 2-inch to realise that you left your gun at home and the show was out, so you call it today. No, James, nothing like that. Don't worry, I don't think you'd like it. It's 2 fat lardies. So don't worry about it. So I did a mix of sand and rubble for my mine craters, so I'm going to use that. So it's nice to have a few stones and stuff just to give the ground a bit of texture. Last time I just used was just sand, just pure sand. But I didn't like the look of it. I'm going to try something new. High Plains Drifter is good. than a tree, similar to the pirates we imagine, all stage and screen, little actual history. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's all late Victorian invention, of course. The tales of the Old West and all that. You know, it's what you expect. But you know, it's Judge Dredd, it's Mandalorian. They're all westerns, basically. In the same manner. Strontium Dog, that's another western. Bounty Hunters. Just with different people on them. I bought a packet of cheap horses from a hobby store to fill up the corral, or the OK corral, but maybe 12, but good enough, 12 mil. Well, that's the main thing, as long as they're good enough. Don't know how I missed that. Patch or two there that I missed. Firefly was basically a western in space. Yeah. Right. That right there. Take some of those bigger rocks off. But that right there is done. So in your face, Dom, for laughing earlier. Never get defeated. Yeah, that's the painting of that is going to be dead easy now. So I'm not going to do it now, but I will spray this in burnt umber, and then also just give it various stages of dry brushing, and it'll be done. Apart from a few details here and there. Yeah, well, I'm quite happy with that. I'm glad I decided to put a little garden on it. So I've not done that before. Right, insert applause here. Right, so I am now going to do these sallies, and then I'm going to call it a night. So I want to go and read What a Cowboy. So when Paul did the bases for me, he's done them big enough for these. I think it's something like 1/8 of an inch rod or something to go in, but they're really tight. It's this point where I pick the model up and it all falls apart. Now that's pretty solid, that's not falling anywhere. Power of super glue. I've been doing them at 2 mil, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to have to bore out the holes in the aircraft and the bases just somewhat, just so I can actually get the thing in. But first, I need to mark these up so I can cut them. Watch it spontaneously gone bust. Not tonight, I hope. They're supposed to be 6 mil, well they're 15 centimetres, so I should really do them at 5 centimetres rather than inches. And that thought has just occurred to me, like an idiot. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is clip these off. First I will bore those holes out. Got your first What a Cowboy going Thursday night. Did you enjoy it, Andy? Was it rooting and also tooting? But these 1600 aircraft are proving incredibly easy to paint, which is nice. If you're Western building spontaneous combustion, you're playing Deadlands. Oh, this Thursday. Oh, this Thursday coming. Sorry, I thought you said last Thursday. Good stuff. Is there a club, Andy, that you're going to? There's a little thing sticking out the side of the engine. I don't think it's an exhaust. Well, if it is, it's gone now. It could be Cowboys that have from Tombstone Tinderbox set. Oh yes. Is that a Little Wars one? Or something else? So these are, yeah, they are Sally's. These are the other type of Sally. Mike Wilkins are running the game, the Knots Rose and Crown group. Okay. So let's have a look. These are the KI-21 2As. So I'm going to write this on here now. I can actually fit it on. And then this just reminds me what these bloody planes are. I should make small labels and stick them on. I might do at some point in the future. I've also got space here as well to put some tiny magnets in, rare earth magnets, which I might do at some point as well. And then if I get some metallic paper, I can then add, just get them settled into a box nice and easy, and they won't fall over. Right, that's them there. Now we need some clippers. Where are they? See, I've almost got everything done that I wanted to do. Almost. This is the hardest part, clipping these blue things. Very strong wire, so it's not going to bend at least. Ow! And they're liable to shoot straight into your hand. Ow. Right. That's that, that's that, that's that. I think I drew blood the other day when I was pushing these in for some of the other ones, the KI-43s. I pushed it in on the top and it cut me. So literally blood, sweat and tears have gone into painting these aircraft. I wish I'd done this actually with the First World War ones. Put them on little bases of their own. I didn't have access to Paul's printer then. Put a crash job on Tiny. Oh, she's buggered off. I put the heating on before I started, and she's She's gone back to the radiator, I think. She knows which side her bread is buttered. Line that up. But yeah, the First World War ones I've got, they're interchangeable for that with their stands. So I've only got a few stands. And the only problem with these being this big is storage. I need to get some more really useful boxes, some of the smaller size ones for these specifically. That's why I say if I can get some rare earth magnets that are big enough to fit into the holes underneath, and super glue them in, and then I can line the boxes with metallic paint paper, and they'll hold up. When I'm putting Tiny on a base, she's already on a base. It's like making clothing for reenactment. If you haven't bled on the cloth, you've not done it right. Very much so. Yeah, you've got to have a bit of yourself in there, I guess. Heating, a bit extravagant for Yorkshire. It's a cold day, Dex. This house is freezing. Like a bloody ice cube. Right. So, yes, I'm going to come to the end of the session in a moo. Because I've done everything that I needed to do. Oops. I'll get to these probably tomorrow. Putting some up. Tiny's on a pedestal. Yeah, definitely. He definitely is. She knows her place. Right, that's them done, or as far as I wanted them to get done anyway. Use a thin brass tube and a flight stand with a short piece of brass rod in each plane. Saves on storage and bases. Yeah, that would work. Let me just give these a clean off. Find my knife. This is just a bit of crap on the edge of the wings, so I will just get that off. And then I think I'm going to call it a night, ladies and gents. Although I suspect the audience is mostly gents. Give them a wee bit of a clean. No idea what kind of printer Paul's got, but there's so much detail on it. On these tiny things. Alright. There we go. 6 planes prepped. A building prepped. Don't worry, mate. I'm off tomorrow. Plenty of time. Not a chance. That's me done. Right. Thank you, everybody, for watching, as always. New video on Friday. Making fields. I am going to do a review of What a Cowboy at some point, once I've read it. So that might be next week or something like that. But I'll put that out, so make sure you check that out, and keep an eye on the community tab for more photos of this little fella when I get it painted over the next day or so. All right, cheers everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the donation as well there. That was really appreciated, and I shall see you all on the next Storm of Steel video.